keep my head up, and you will end this.
I'm just getting warmed up. This is von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war. I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.
Good morning, everyone. It's August 19th, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm here at Blacklisted News, as you can see. There's a few headlines we can hit right here, and maybe we'll have a good chat about it. Alright. I know a lot of people don't have any sympathy for individuals who are incarcerated, however I do. And the reason I have sympathy for these people is because most of them are there for nonviolent drug offenses and should not be there as a result of that. And I've been in county jail countless times, and each one of these places is like a miniature concentration camp where you are starved. You lose lots of weight and are treated horribly by the guards. So, demanding wide-reaching reforms and an end to slavery, inmates in 17 states plan prison strike. And I say fucking good for them. Incarcerated Americans in at least 17 states will go on strike this coming week, refusing to perform labor and engaging in sit-ins and hunger strikes to demand major reforms to the country's prison and criminal justice systems. And of course, I have court coming up here in 10 days for distribution of marijuana. Even though I wasn't selling it, I gave it to somebody. That somebody got pulled over and narked on me. Wasn't that just fucking nice of him? And I imagine that all these things are going to help me in court a little bit. Of course, and this charge is almost 2 years old, and they sat on the warrants until I got halfway through my sentence and decided to go ahead and release these warrants a couple weeks ago. No, about 5 weeks ago. So, the nationwide prison strike is planned for August 21st or the day Nat Turner led an uprising of slaves in 1831 until September 9th, the 47th anniversary of the Attica Prison Rebellion, in which more than 40 people were killed. Organizers of the action, which is endorsed by jailhouse lawyers, speak, and the Incarcerated Workers Organizing Committee have released a list of 10 demands for improvements to their living conditions, sentencing policies, and laws that allow for prison slavery. And it is prison slavery. A lot of people like to believe that these immigrants coming over here are competing for the lower rung jobs. But the fact of the matter is, it's the prison industry that's taking up a lot of these jobs, along with trade deals. So, people, you should really support a lot of these guys in prison, because a lot of them don't belong where they are. Take me, for example. Now, I don't have a whole lot of fear that I'm going to go to prison, because when I get in front of a judge, I speak properly. I argue, with logic, and I've been told by a couple of judges that I should have been a lawyer. So, I'll probably do okay in court, even without a lawyer. I'm too poor now to afford a lawyer, so I have to defend myself. So, now Judicial Watch calls for reopening of Hillary email investigation after more classified info found. Judicial watching, it's supposed to be Judicial Watch, is calling for a reopening of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails after finding more classified information on the former Secretary of State's non-state government email system. And of course, this will never happen. Hillary Clinton, the Clinton family, is part of the ruling class, and they don't eat their own. So, I wouldn't hold my breath for Hillary going to prison, regardless of what Trump or Sessions says. And even if they do go to prison, the next time a Democrat gets to be president, their sentences will be commuted and they'll get out. I wish I had that kind of privilege. CDC, 25% of adults have life-impacting disabilities. I wouldn't call what I have a disability, but I do have some long-term permanent injuries that hurt rather badly. I deal with it. Sometimes I'll take painkillers, but not all the time. So it can be very painful. Just 3 days ago, I loaded in my F-150 60 50-plus pound bricks. And again, I have back problems. And they were, after about 10 of them, it starts to hurt a little bit. But that's how I make money. I find stuff to buy for a low price, and then I turn around and sell it for more. For example, I bought a camper last month, right before I went to jail. Got it for $100. Made a couple minor repairs on it, and then I turned around and sold it for $800. So, alright, according to the Centers for Disease Control, one in 4 adults report having a disability that impacts major life activities. The most dominant one affecting mobility, reports UPI. The CDC measured 6 types of disability: mobility, cognition, hearing, vision, independent living, and self-care. Using data from 458,811 adults who participated in the 2016 Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System. Damn. The report reveals that disability is more common among women, non-Hispanic American Indians, Alaska Natives, low-income adults, and those living in South Census region of the U.S. The low-income adults, they're not really disabled. They claim to be disabled to be able to get that check. But I think a doctor would probably consider me disabled due to my vertebrae that are pushed to one side or another. One is pushed to the left, one is pushed to the right, and it causes me a whole bunch of pain. Moving on. Facebook censors conservative education page. Says it was a mistake, but few are convinced. Facebook says it had mistakenly deleted videos and limited the reach of U.S. conservative educational organizations, PragerU. The content has now been restored, but PragerU supporters don't think it was an accident. Well, PragerU is a propaganda mouthpiece for the right-wing establishment. The same with Ben Shapiro and among others. Actor Jim Carrey's art goes viral. Our missile, our crime in Yemen. Responding to the now confirmed fact that it was a laser-guided MK-82 bomb made by Lockheed Martin that killed 40 children while they were riding inside a school bus in northern Yemen over a week ago. Actor Jim Carrey has highlighted the crime in his latest art. In a now viral tweet posted to his official account Friday afternoon, Carrey wrote, 40 innocent children killed on a bus in Yemen, and added, our ally, our missiles, our crime. And I agree. Why do we have to kill children? These children have not developed their own morality. They are essentially prisoners of the culture they live in, and just like we are. And what did they do? Disturbing video shows cops attack dad, taser him as he held his 2-month-old baby. A deeply disturbing video has been shared with the Free Thought Project showing multiple police officers surrounding a man who was holding his 2-month-old baby and taser him. The video uploaded to Facebook by the man who took it, Kelvin Williams, shows Westland City police officers assault and arrest a man as he held his baby son. Mexico. Mexico seizes a record 50 tons of meth from Super Lab. Oh God, those meth heads are going to be fucking withdrawing hard now. After locating a massive drug laboratory near the town of some shit I can't pronounce, personnel of the Navy seized 50 tons of methamphetamine, allegedly from Sinaloa cartel, in the most significant drug bust of this kind in the history of Mexico. UN chief suggests deploying UN-mandated armed forces to protect Palestinians. And if they do that, it's probably one of the few, if any, good things the UN has done. As you might or might not know, the UN, or more specifically, the UN employees, the so-called peacekeepers, have quite a record of child molesting and raping and killing. So, you know, if they go to Palestine, rather, you can bet that the children in Palestine are going to be just as victimized by the UN as they are by the dirty, stinking Israelis. The protection of Palestinian civilians could be improved by the deployment of UN-mandated armed forces or unarmed observers. Well, if they're unarmed, then what fucking good are they going to do? They should be sending these people to Yemen too, by the way. A beefing up UN civilian presence or expanded UN assistance, Secretary General Antonio Guterres wrote in a report on Friday. The United Nations General Assembly requested the report in a resolution adopted in June that condemned Israel for excessive force against Palestinian civilians and denounced the firing of rockets from Gaza into Israel or Israeli civilian areas. The resolution asked for proposals to ensure the safety, protection, and well-being of the Palestinian civilian population under Israeli occupation, including recommendations regarding an international protection mechanism. Yeah, buddy. Here's some more nanny state bullshit for you. California wants to force restaurants to only offer children milk or water with meals. The California state legislature passed a bill this week requiring restaurants to make the default drink for kids menus either water or milk, according to the text of SB 1192, this bill would require a restaurant as defined that sells a children's meal that includes a beverage to make the default beverage water, sparkling water, or flavored water as specified, or unflavored milk, or a non-dairy milk alternative as specified. The bill would not prohibit a restaurant's ability to sell or a customer's ability to purchase an alternative beverage if the purchaser requests one. I wish California would just break off already and sink. How about you? ISIS given breathing space in parts of Syria under U.S.-backed forces' control. Islamic State managed to regain access to Syrian oil fields and make profits from selling oil, a new UN report reveals. While the UN did not point fingers, the IS reemergence seems to occur in areas held by the U.S.-backed forces. And of course, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, you name it, the Taliban, they all get their weapons from either the United States or one of its allies. We're all lab rats in the largest ever monetary experiment in human history. Of course, we know that our currency is fiat. It is backed by absolutely nothing. It's about as legitimate as monopoly money. But there are ample warning signs that another serious financial crisis is on the way. These warning signs are being soundly ignored by the majority, though perhaps understandably so. After 10 years of near constant central bank interventions to prop up markets and make stocks, bonds, and real estate rise in price, while also simultaneously hammering commodities to mask the inflationary impact of their money printing from the masses. It's difficult to imagine that they will allow markets to ever fall again. But they're going to allow the markets to fall again so they can usher in their new world currency or one world currency and put the final pieces of the new world order into place. Now this is a good outcome here. Cop denied immunity for killing unarmed naked veteran suffering from PTSD. Instead of reaching for his pepper spray or his taser, a DeKalb County police officer drew his gun and killed an unarmed veteran suffering from bipolar and post-traumatic stress disorder. Charged with felony murder and several other charges, in 2016, the officer claims the unarmed veteran was aggressively charging towards him, even though witnesses dispute his official version of events. Now, a judge has ruled that the former cop is not entitled to immunity based on the self-defense claim. How can it be self-defense if the man was naked, if the man was unarmed? How? Now, I wish I was one of these hackers, and I really should have taken that penetration test or course, but I never did. I should have. Anyway, hackers steal $13 million from bank ATMs in 28 countries. Just days after an FBI warning of the prospect of a worldwide mass hacking plot that could have millions withdrawn from bank accounts, hackers managed to steal $13 million from ATMs across 28 countries. The cybercriminals infected cash machines of India-based Cosmos Bank with malware which allowed them to approve transactions and access client accounts, reports Yahoo News. Fake credit cards were used to drain the cash from the machines. Now, if you know anything about the dark web, you'll know that there are many services offered on there, and one of them is credit cards that are programmed to look like they have a balance of $2,500 and so and more, and you send the person who hacks these cards a Bitcoin payment of $250. They next day air the credit card to you, and it works. Feds ask court to force Facebook to break Messenger's end-to-end voice encryption for MS-13 gang probe. And in America, we're not supposed to have secret court proceedings, but we do. And this is one of the things that really shows that we are under totalitarianism. Our court hearings should be transparent. The general public should be able to sit in on the hearings, but they can't. In secret court proceedings, the U.S. government is trying to force Facebook to help wiretap Messenger. Facebook has declined, so the Justice Department is asking a judge for an order of contempt. Our sources say the U.S. government has gone to court to force Facebook to break what it says is the end-to-end encryption in Messenger voice calls, says Joseph Menn of Reuters. And there's just no end to the violation of our rights. Trump says social media is totally discriminating against conservative voices. Of course they are. Conspiracy theorists proven right as TSA body scanners rolled out at subway stations. And of course, I've talked about this many years ago. For years, those who have been paying attention to the ever-expanding police state that is in the United States, or the United States, have been warning of the slippery slope of TSA expansion. For years, these same people warned that TSA would soon be present at bus stations, malls, and subways. And now this has begun to happen. So, district attorney that abused his power to help female drug dealers in exchange for sexual favors will not spend any time behind bars. Of course not. Bedford DA William Higgins, Jr. received his sentence on Friday, August 17th at 1:30 p.m. Higgins will not spend any time behind bars since he pled guilty to 31 charges in May. He was accused of using his power as a district attorney to help female drug dealers in exchange for sexual favors. Of course, if there were no prohibition, this district attorney would not have the power or the ability to do this. Robber grabs purse with $75,000 in it. Now listen, people, I'm not going to even discuss this one, because if you are foolish enough to be carrying around $75,000 with you, unarmed, without any kind of backup, then you're probably not very smart. So, anyway, I thought I would share some of this with y'all. This will be my second video of the day, a longer one. And by the way, damn, 140 subs in just 2 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I would like to see my view count go up some. Huh? So, if you could help me out with a thumbs up, a share maybe, a sub, and if I'm worthy of your spare dollars, my PayPal link is in the description box below. And by the way, so are my backup channels links. Anti-Authoritarian YouTube channel and Kill the State BitChute channel. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, kill the state before the state kills you.